Good morning, everybody. I'm Jared Klein here at the NBC29 Digital Desk with a look at our morning rush on this Monday morning, July 3rd. Let's start things off with the top stories over on NBC29.com. At number 1, the Culpeper County Sheriff and 3 others charged with bribery and fraud. That's a story that broke last week. At number 2, new driver move over law going into effect July 1st. That date is passed, so that is in effect now. Go check out that story right now if you haven't yet over on NBC29.com. So you know the new law that is in effect now. All drivers need to know about this. And at number 3, a Texas man who went missing as a teen found alive 8 years later. All right, here's a look at our local beat this morning. Some in Batesville fear a bridge improvement project will increase traffic into their community. VDOT replaced the superstructure for the bridge on Plank Road, raising the weight limit for emergency vehicles. But those we spoke with say this has also increased drivers using the road as a detour, especially tractor trailers. VDOT says it is looking into a potential restriction on big trucks on the bridge. The Salvation Army in Stanton has 2 new lieutenants. Mark and Dorothy Gates are from New York. There they are there. And the couple of more than 30 years has never done anything like this, but they are eager to lead. The Gates say securing a facility for the Angel Tree program is already on their agenda. All right, well, with 4th of July travel, everyone is wondering when is the best time and the worst time to hit the road. Well, here you go. Tomorrow, the worst time to hit the road will be between noon and 3 p.m. Now, the best time, if you want to avoid all that traffic, will be before 11 a.m. or after 6 p.m. Again, that's tomorrow on Tuesday. Now, if you are spending an extra day with family and friends and you are heading out on Wednesday, the worst time will be between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. and the best time will be before 2 p.m. So there's some ideas if you are traveling, the best time to go out there. Whenever I'm traveling, and here's Jennifer. Whenever I'm traveling, Jennifer, I like to hit the road early, obviously.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I'm like one of those that even when I'm going to on a flight,
yeah,
I try to get I book the early ones. I like to get,
and
I like to get where I'm going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to get on the road.
On the road, yeah.
All right.
Okay, so things are heating up. It's getting hotter. Right now it looks like we're going to have a heat wave here in Central Virginia. So, things to keep in mind to prevent heat stroke, and this is a great diagram of the difference between heat exhaustion and heat stroke.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I actually didn't really know the difference, but heat exhaustion, feeling faint or dizzy, sweating, cool, pale, clammy skin, vomiting, nausea, rapid, weak pulse, muscle cramps. Heat stroke is when you have a pulsating headache, hot, red, dry skin, a temperature above 103, vomiting, nausea, rapid, weak pulse, and loss of consciousness. And of course, if you come across someone with this, this is what you do to help victims. So find shade, cool them down, immerse them in cool water, track their body temperature. Of course, get medical attention right away and no alcohol. So kind of something timely, especially as we're heating up in Central Virginia.
Yeah, it's a good thing to keep in mind, especially today. It's supposed to be so hot with heat indices up to around 100. So definitely keep this in mind.
Yeah, and I know David Rogers always says if you have things outside work you need to do, get up early, do them before that sun really rises and heats things up. So
just like traveling, do it early.
That's right.
Get it out of the way.
Exactly. All right, so I have never heard of this. Have you ever heard of margarita burn?
I've not, no.
So evidently it is a skin condition. It's caused by lime juice that gets on your skin and then you go into the sun.
Yeah.
And the sun, and that causes a reaction and you can get a bad sunburn. They call it margarita burn, that's kind of like the nickname for it, but there are other things like lemon juice, for instance, can do the same thing. And dermatologists see this more during the summer months, of course, because people are outside, but they say make sure you wash it off your hands or if you got on around your mouth. But it can be, it can cause severe burns, even blistering.
Yeah, I've never heard of that, so I guess if you're going to have a margarita today or tomorrow,
be careful.
Be careful. Here's your warning.
Wipe it off your face.
Wipe it off your face.
Yeah. And then going back, here's some tips to avoid the travel of the 4th of July. Obviously getting up early, but they recommend read the airline. If you're flying, read the airline flight change policies and pick a backup flight ahead of time. I've never done that.
I haven't either.
I mean, but that makes sense. And
Yeah.
just make sure that there are other,
Yeah.
I guess, other times that you could possibly leave in case there are changes. And then, of course, prepare for lower gas prices but higher hotel costs, which is interesting right now. And then, of course, pay attention to the weather because that really will disrupt your travel plans.
Yeah, we've got
So,
some weather in the forecast for later today, so if you're traveling later today, but I think this is, what it boils down to is a lot of research on your part.
yeah, and pack your patience.
Pack your patience.
You know, you gotta have to be prepared for anything.
Just
so.
walk into it expecting to be
That's right.
delayed. Expect the worst.
Expect the
and
worst, and hopefully the best. Will.
Exactly. You'll be pleasantly
Yes.
surprised. All right, thank you, Jennifer. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast. A high of 92 today, but the heat index will be closer to 100 with those humid conditions. So stay safe out there. There's a risk of storms for this evening. Download the Storm Team 29 weather app to track radar to see the storm before it hits your area. And then tomorrow, looking like great weather for our fireworks displays, a high of 91, and then looks like we're staying in the 90s throughout this week with a bit of a cool down by the end of the week, but not much of a cool down. It'll still be in the upper 80s, but looks like a potential heat wave with 4 days of 90 degrees temperatures here in Central Virginia. All right, I hope you guys have a great Monday out there. We'll see you again on NBC 29 News at noon. And of course, we're always live over on NBC29.com.